to another video which will help you to become fluent in English by practicing some simple conversation. We must remember that conversation is one of the most important ways in which we need to speak English. That is the commonest form of speaking. Not all of us give long speeches, but we keep talking to each other. We often have topics on which we speak, or we speak generally. When you know the correct expressions, when you know the right phrases and the right responses for a particular question, your conversation becomes comfortable. Otherwise, you keep struggling for words. You don't really know what to say in reply to a person who's asking you a question, or to a person who wants you to carry the conversation forward. How should you do that? These exercises of simple conversations, followed by some questions where you can test yourself, are very useful for all of you. If you are genuinely interested in improving your English quickly and correctly, then these conversation videos are very helpful for you. It is not enough if you just see it once. You need to listen and read, because I'm giving you the text which on your screen which you can read. Listening and reading aloud, then of course speaking using these sentences. If you don't have a friend, if you don't have anybody to practice with, then you can practice it alone, because you see how I'm reading out the conversation to you on my own. I don't have 2-3 people doing it. I'm doing it all by myself. The same way you can do it, practice it again and again so that these structures become a part of your memory. That is how the natural language learning takes place. I have told you many times in many videos how a small child listens for a long time, and then without reading any book or without learning how to write or formal education, the child is able to speak his or her mother tongue at age 1 or at age 2 perfectly. At age 1 may be faulty, but by the time the child is 2 years, you have nice, correct sentences, correct pronunciation and vocabulary and grammar. Everything is there. They have never studied it. So that is the natural process. Now, if you have hundreds of conversations, small pieces at your fingertips, you keep practicing those hundreds. I'll try to give you many videos on this. Then what you find is that your comfort level with the language, your fluency, your ability to use the language in any context, in every situation, you are comfortable, you are confident, you are able to express yourself very clearly. I have chosen simple topics, simple sentences. Usually only 2 speakers are there in the conversation, and it doesn't go beyond 1 slide, so that you have the entire conversation, maybe just about 6 or 8 exchanges, and all in the space of 1 slide. This is very useful because you can come back to it anytime you want. Note down the time where that piece of conversation is there which you require, and then you exactly at that time you come. Unless you set your goals, your learning graph is not going to improve. We want the graph to keep rising up, and that comes when you have goals for your improvement. And when you write down which video at what point you would like to watch again and again, that is one of the ways in which you can fulfill your goal. That is why it is very important for all of you to see these pieces of conversation, to look at them when they are on the screen, to read them, speak loudly using similar conversations. Those of you who are at an advanced level can also frame similar conversations. You have a particular situation and you use that same situation but change all the sentences, change what the people are saying. In this way, you will be able to practice much more than what is given in the video. So let us begin with the first of our conversations in this video. A bus accident. I see a huge crowd ahead. What is the matter? There was a bus accident here just a few minutes back. Was anyone injured? Yes. About 5 people and 2 children who were taken to the nearby hospital for treatment. The bus seems to have fallen down. Hope no one was seriously hurt. I don't think so. Those 7 who were taken to hospital had minor cuts and grazes. I hope all of you have heard the conversation with full concentration. I hope all of you have also read the conversation on the screen where it appeared. Now I would like to ask you some questions and I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer. I would also like you to mark yourself. For each correct answer, give yourself 1 mark so that after 5 questions are over, you can tell me how many of you got 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1. Even if you have got nothing correct, don't worry. All it shows is that you need to listen to the conversation once more and listen to it as many times as you like and test yourself by answering these questions. Once you get a good score, you feel happy that yes, I could manage to understand the conversation and I'm able to remember also. Because by remembering these things, you are able to speak better. The first question is, what is the title of this conversation which you heard just now? That is 5 seconds. Now you have to tell me. The title of this conversation was A Bus Accident. If you have written only a bus accident, that also is fine. I have no problem with that. That is the correct answer. Or you can say the title of this conversation was A Bus Accident. If you have said only bus accident, then you don't get any marks. Please remember that a bus accident has to be given. If you have missed out the article, then give yourself a 0 because I have pronounced it clearly. While reading the passage, I made it very clear. A bus accident. That means 1 bus accident. Not bus accident, but a bus accident. Now we move to the second question. There is a word saying huge, huge crowd. That is the word which is used. Now I want you to tell me the meaning of the word huge and 1 synonym of a word huge. A more difficult word than that. Try it. No harm in trying. If you can't do it, no problem. Now the time starts now. That is 5 seconds. Huge means very big. That is the meaning of the word huge. That gives you half a mark. The meaning of huge is very big. The synonym of huge, you can also use the word massive. Massive. So you are learning vocabulary from that conversation. You are now improving your vocabulary. The word huge is used for the noun crowd. And we said very big crowd. That also we can use. Or we can say massive crowd. That also we can say. So massive, huge, very big. They have similar meaning in this sentence which we have. You can mark yourself as 1 if you have got meaning and synonym both correct. Otherwise, you get half a mark. Now we move to the third question. Who were injured in the accident? Now we are using the verb who were because more than one person. Who were injured in the accident, not who was injured, because if it was one person, then we would say who was. But we know many people were injured. So who were injured in the accident? Time starts now. Okay, that's the end of your 5 seconds. The answer is 5 people and 2 children. 5 people and 2 children. So you can say that 5 people and 2 children were injured in the accident. Or you can say 5 adults and 2 children. Instead of using people, which is there in the passage, you can say 5 adults. 2 children are mentioned. So you can say 5 adults and 2 children were injured in the accident. Now we move to the next one. That is number 4. There is the word grazes, the last word in the passage. Grazes. Now I would like you to spell the word first and also give its meaning. So spelling half a mark, meaning another half a mark. Time starts now. That's the end of your 5 seconds. Grazes spelling Grazes. Grazes. Grazes means scratch. When the skin goes away, that is called a graze. Where the skin is cut and the flesh, you can see inside, then that is called cut. So the passage says cuts and grazes. So some people had cut themselves, the others had only scratched themselves. So the meaning is scratches. Grazes, scratches. Now the last question. Find 2 words which were used in the conversation which have the same meaning. 2 words were used in the conversation which have the same meaning. Now your time starts. That's 5 seconds over. And the answer is injured and hurt. The word hurt, H-U-R-T, and the word injured, I-N-J-U-R-E-D. Both these words mean the same in the conversation because once it was used as injured, later it was used as hurt. So when you notice these things, your conversation is making sense. You are learning from it. Let us now move on to the next one. Planning to go to a movie. Have you seen the film being shown at Tivoli Theatre? Not yet, Rana. I read in the newspaper that it is a horror movie. I'm eager to see it. Then, shall we go this Saturday? Will we get tickets easily? Do you think, Padma? I think we have to book in advance. My neighbors went yesterday but could not get tickets. They must have been disappointed. We can ask them if they are free on Saturday, then all of us can book the tickets and go this Saturday. You have just heard the conversation, planning to go to a movie. This time I'm not asking you for the title. Instead, I will ask you to spell two words. If you spell both correctly, you get a mark, full mark. Otherwise, you get half a mark for each word. The first word you have to spell is planning. 5 seconds. Planning. 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 Now the next word is neighbors. Neighbors. Your 5 seconds are over. The spelling, these are two ways of spelling it. Neigh. Bors is the American way of spelling it. And the British way is Bours. So Bors, American, Bours, British, both are accepted. Neigh is the same for both, no change. If you've got either of the two spellings, that is correct. You can give yourself the marks. Now we move to the next question. Can you tell me the meaning of the phrase horror movie? Horror movie. Time starts now. A horror movie is a very frightening movie where you have terror, you have suspense, you have monsters and supernatural beings. If you write any of these things, your answer is correct. Horror movies are very popular with youngsters these days. So that is the meaning of the horror movie. Now, the third question. In the conversation, there are two words which mean the same. Recollect the conversation and try to remember the two words which mean the same. I'll give you 5 seconds to recollect. Now the answer. The word movie and the word film, they are used in the same way. Movie and film. These are the two words which are used interchangeably in the conversation. Now we move to the next question, number 4. There is a sentence, will we get tickets? Will we get tickets? Now, can you rewrite this sentence using the words able to? You have to use the words able to. You can't change the meaning of the sentence. Will we get tickets? You have to use able to. 5 seconds. Now the answer. Will we be able to get tickets? No, not will we get tickets, but will we be able to? You are adding these words, be able to. Will we get tickets? Separate it. Will we be able to? Three words you add. Get tickets remains the same. The sentence is more or less the same, except that you are inserting three words. Now we come to the last one. We have to book in advance. That is another sentence in the conversation. We have to book in advance. You have to say the same thing using the word must. M-U-S-T. 5 seconds. Now the answer. We must book in advance. We have to. You remove have to and say we must book in advance. Now you see how you are learning the various ways of expressing the same thing. If you can do this, your English becomes that much better. Let us move to the last of the conversations in this video. Applying for a passport. Could you tell me how to get my passport made? I am not very sure. I too need a passport and was told to apply online. Please let me know when you are applying so that I can come and learn from you. I do not know how to apply online. It is not difficult. You have to go to the site of the passport department and search for the new passports menu. Once you fill in all the details on that page, you can click Submit. Thanks. I shall try it immediately. You just heard a conversation on applying for a passport. Applying for a passport. Please be very careful of the title because the title itself teaches you good English. There is no part of the conversation that doesn't teach you good English. Now, as we have been doing earlier, I will ask you 5 questions, and if you get them all correct, you give yourself 5 marks. This kind of self-assessment is very good for progressing in your journey of learning English. Now, there is a word difficult in the passage. Can you give its opposite word? We call opposite words as antonyms. I will give you an entire video on antonyms soon. Can you give the antonym or the opposite word of the word difficult in 5 seconds? The antonym of difficult is easy. E-A-S-Y. Now you have the next question. There is a sentence, it is not difficult. It is not difficult. Now can you replace difficult with easy in this sentence? 5 seconds. So what will you say? You will say, it is easy. Not difficult. Not is, showing that it is the exact opposite of difficult. So you say it is easy. See how simply you can write or you can speak. Then the next one. There is a word submit. Now I want you to spell submit and submitted. After finishing the process, the person will say, I have submitted. So spell both submit and submitted. 5 seconds. Submit is S-U-B-M-I-T and submitted is T-T, S-U-B-M-I-T-T-E-D. E-D is for past tense, T becomes double. So submitted, T-T-E-D. If you've got it correct, please give yourself full marks if you've got both correct, otherwise half a mark. Now we have the next question, that is number 4. I was told to apply online. This is a sentence in the conversation. I was told to apply online. Start the sentence with they told me. I was told, you change and say they told me. 5 seconds. The answer is they told me to apply online. This is the passive form which is given there, I was told, and we are changing it into active form. They told me to apply online. As I told you many times before, active and passive voice whole video is available. If you want to improve your communication, please watch those videos many times. Now we come to the last question. Please let me know. This phrase is used in the conversation. Please let me know. Now here, use the same phrase, that is without changing the meaning, using the word tell me. Please let me know. Using tell me. 5 seconds. The structure is please tell me, nothing else is necessary. Please tell me, no, we don't require. So please let me know. Let me know, we remove and say please tell me. You are removing 3 words and putting in 2 words. You are condensing your space and time. So please tell me, please let me know mean the same. Now you can see how not only is the conversation something which is interesting and gives you a variety of expression, but you are learning much more than what is there in the conversation. You are learning spelling, you're learning vocabulary, you're learning the factual data, you are learning to change the sentences to get a newer sentence without changing the meaning, which is called transformation. When you do all this, your English improves automatically. And finally, your goal is to have good English. Your goal is to have excellent English. And that is what we are aiming in these videos. All the best, keep watching, and thank you.